Hola, hello,
Hey,
what's
everybody.
happening? How are you
Trying to
doing?
get our screen
Look, we're
situation.
live. See,
We're trying to get
I told you.
our screen situation figured out here. It looks like we're looking down when we have to look at the camera, so I was want to raise it up. But when we raise it up, it doesn't look like we're looking at you. So
That's funny. That's funny. So yeah, I've got this is my laptop, the little camera from the laptop, and I've got dual monitors up here, and she wanted to put it up there.
We need the camera up there.
Mama Teresa in the house.
We need the
Dave Lee from St. Louis. What's happening? How are you doing? See, we do have another one up here so we can see the chats.
We need the camera up here
in live time.
You're gonna have to get an external camera.
Dennis Horn in the house.
Finally, we are live. What do you mean?
Yeah,
finally,
Teresa.
You are on.
Yeah, Teresa. We weren't live on time because she was in your office, right? Am I right?
Has to hunt me down every week.
I know. I'm like, Candace, it's time for brag.
We got stuff going on. We got partners joining in. We've got houses selling. We're buying houses. I'm a very busy person.
Yeah, you said that earlier.
We do this in your office, so you are already here.
I am. This is where I buy and sell all the houses. Right here. Right? That's where that's where all the magic happens right there.
This is where all the magic happens.
That's funny. So please share if you want to win a real estate day trading and jumpstart.
That's what it looks like right now.
That's it, right?
Yes, Dennis, I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you very much.
She might be feeling better, but she's not acting any better. Let me tell you that right now.
So to get that real estate day trading jumpstart, I'm going to take the pressure off of you right now. Share this thing here, this live.
Right, it's the real estate day trading jumpstart. Includes 2 free tickets to see Larry live, and complete slide presentation from the live event. Buy and sell houses the same day using the internet.
That slide presentation from the live event, though, you guys should really just put the seed deposit down, the $97 seed deposit down on one of the current events. You really should. It goes through a lot of fundamentals, but for the most up-to-date information and everything, I wouldn't say to look to the Jumpstart and for that event material, because our events now are a lot more current, right?
Our events now are more current.
Yeah, they're for more current times.
As opposed to our events now would be what? In the past?
This event right here is from a long time ago. So it might not be
our
as
events
relevant.
Now are much more current.
They're much more current. I'm telling you, I'm really starting to worry myself today, because this is like the second time that I have just been confused all around about something.
That's crazy. So anyway, welcome to the show. We're glad you're here. Please share. And we have a share sponsor from last week. Our share sponsor from last week is...
Who is it?
Gene Buys Pretty Houses.
Is this the same Gene from Waxhaw? Gene Buys from Waxhaw that's pulling my signs up?
I don't know.
If that's you, go ahead, call in. I dare you.
And this wants to talk to you, right? She's got some current information to share with you.
It's very relevant. Stop pulling up my signs, Gene Buys.
There you go. That's exactly right.
Gene, but how did you win?
Gene Buys Pretty Houses.
It might not be the same one, but if it is, yes, you go ahead and call the office.
I randomly pick a winner each week.
Email in to customer service at larrygoins.com, and we'll get that squared away for you.
Exactly. So let's see what else. Okay, so Gene's going to do that. If you want a free investors kit, wait, did I click on that? What did I do?
Where's your
right there.
This is not the investors kit.
What does that say?
That's for the partners.
Okay. Where does it say 877 Larry Go?
I don't see it.
It doesn't.
Here, it's right here. Where's that one?
Does. What's happening right now?
If you want a free investors kit, give a call to 877 Larry Go. 877 Larry Go. Talk to Zenobia. and she will be able to get you a copy of the digital copy of the real estate day trading book.
And
a digital copy of HUD Homes half off.
Right.
And it'll also have some other training links in there for our Filthy Riches model, our real estate day trading model, hard money brokering, lending.
I'm going to write down another Candaceism.
Oh my God, what is happening to me today?
I have Candaceisms, by the way.
Broker.
Of course,
I
also have Pamisms for my wife.
Candaceisms are on purpose. That was not on purpose. Lending, brokering, and borrowing.
So I'm going to show you some Candaceisms right now, okay?
Why are we picking on me today? I'm making it easy, though.
You really are. So, Candaceism, she said not too long ago, was in agreeance. If we're in agreeance on this, it's supposed to be agreement.
It's taken out of context because I was mirroring a seller when that word came up.
Well, all I know is I heard you on the phone and I wrote it down.
He said it, and so when I was talking about the contract terms, I said it back to him. We were speaking the same language. Right,
you were mirroring and matching.
I was.
There you go. So our next Candaceism is slown down. Slown. Like as in the past tense of slowed or something. I don't know.
The past tense of slowed.
Slown.
Slown down. You know, that traffic out there. The traffic out there has really slowed down.
I got more Candaceisms right here. Freeness. As in becoming free. Freeness. Can you use that in a sentence? That's hilarious. Oh, and we were talking about reciprocity. Here's her word for reciprocity. Retroprocity. Retroprocity. We got some retroprocity. Are you guys willing to retroprocity? I don't know. I don't even know how to use it in a sentence. I don't even know. Oh, and she thought somebody was being a snake, and she said they were sneakily. They were doing something sneakily. Remember that?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
All of them can be used in sentences. I'll be glad to send anybody a PDF if you would like to incorporate them into your vocabulary.
That's funny. But you know, the funny part is I have many, mucho more of them for my wife.
Right.
Right?
She has some good ones.
She does have some really, really good ones. That's for sure. Okay, so we also have a 3-day coming up. Not anytime soon, but it's coming up if you want to register.
Here's the thing about the 3 days. We're only doing 4 this year, right? We're only doing 4, and they're all in Charlotte area, rather. So they're going to fill up quick. We've only got 3 left for the year. And we keep these small. We like to have kind of an intimate group, so we don't let them get too large. So I cap the attendance. So if you're wanting to come to the next one, which is in May, you can do the same thing, 877-LARRY-GO. Talk to Z about it. You can go to LarryGoinsLive.com to register if you want to do that as well. But I would suggest if you're wanting to come, then you should get registered because it will fill up quick.
There you go.
I think we already have 8 or 10 seats, and it's in May. We already have 8 or 10 seats gone right now, and we haven't even started marketing.
Really?
Yeah. What are you doing there?
I'm typing in another thing.
So today. Oh no! Wait. Deal of the week.
Oh, I forgot to put that on the crawler. I forgot to put deal of the week on the crawler. So deal of the week. Our deal of the week is. You can type that in there. Our deal of the week is a deal that I got under contract. It's a double wide mobile home.
Are you sure I can type it? Are you sure I can type it in?
Our deal of the week is a double wide mobile home that I just bought. Okay. Now you have to click on that. It's all the way at the bottom. Show. Click on show.
Bam.
Look at you learning all about technology and whatnot.
Every day I learn something in this place.
There you go. So our deal of the week, as I've said many times, is a little double wide mobile home, and I like double wide mobile homes. I love them. This is a double wide mobile home, a 3-bedroom house, and it's on about an acre of land over in Blacksburg. And I'm buying this house for $15,000. It's livable. it was livable when the person moved out anyway. So $15,000. Now I could do one of a couple different things with this house. Okay,
one of a few.
I could wholesale it for probably $29,900. I could wholesale it for $29,900 pretty easily, right? There's a lot of people walking around with cash, which we just sold a house this week for cash.
Yeah, that guy was walking around with a lot more than $29,000.
All cash, $40,000 cash, right? So anyway, you could wholesale this house for $29,900 pretty easily, or you could do a fix and flip. Right now, mobile homes. The problem with fix and flip is there's not near as many loan programs for a fix and flip mobile home as there are fix and flip single family site built house, or stick built. Some people call it, or site built house, right? But with mobile homes, even if I went in and put 10 or 15 in it and sold it for $79,900 or $89,900 or something like that, right? I could do that, but I hate fix and flips. I hate rehabs. Okay.
If you haven't ever heard the show before,
I know, right? So also you could do it as a rental, right? You could put a lease option tenant in there. You could put just a tenant. You could sell or finance it. There's so many different things that you could do. If I was going to sell or finance it, I would sell or finance it for like $79,900 or $89,900, get $5 or $10,000 down. So you could do that as well, right? So there's so many things you could do with it. But we're picking it up for $15,000, a double wide mobile home that's not too old. And yeah, so there you have it.
Deal of the week. That was it.
That was it. All right. So
in light of last week's show, our topic this week is price conditioning.
Price conditioning, right?
For the buyer and for the seller.
That's exactly right.
Two different views.
That's exactly right.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the seller first, okay?
Go ahead, explain it, Lucy.
When you, that's funny. Whenever you're on the phone with the seller or you're in person with the seller, if you're in person, you're going to do this ahead of time, okay? If you're running appointments and sitting down with the seller, which you can do, and it's good experience, but I like to do everything here, right? I like to do everything over the phone. That way I don't have to leave. So when you're on the phone with them, you need to know how to price condition the seller. Now, if it's a fix and flip, while you're on the phone with them, you're going to say something along the lines of, well, let's take a look and see what other similar houses are selling for, so I have an idea as to what your property's worth. Because all we can really do is sell our properties for what other houses are selling for. In other words, if a house is selling, if all houses in the neighborhood are selling for $50,000, nobody's going to pay $100,000 for yours or any one house, right? So what I do is I pull up and I look at Zillow, not the Zestimate, Zillow, the sold comps. You Google the address, you scroll down, and you look at the neighborhood. Get on the map and zoom out and look for the cheapest comps, okay? And then you've got to say something along the lines of, now, I'm not going to show you anything you can't do on your own, because all I'm doing is looking online at some public information for houses that have sold in your neighborhood, okay? That's very important that you say that. It's going to take down their defenses, right? It's going to take that down because they're saying, where's he get his information from?
Right.
And then you've got to go one step further. When you find those low comps, you've got to say, now here's a house at 125 Oak Street that sold for $32,000. Let's take a look at it. Well, let's see, yours is how many square feet? Now, I'm going to bring up stuff that I know is going to devalue their property. Let me give you an example. If their house is 900 square feet and the house that just sold for 32, which is low, right? There might have been some other houses sold for 60, 70, 80, but there's a house sold for 32. I'm going to say, now here's a house right here that sold for 32. Now how much how much square footage did you say your house is? 900. Oh, wow, this one's 1,200. So it's a little bigger than your house. Okay. So I'm going to make little comments like that. And even if another house, let's say their house is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, but I'm looking at a 3-bedroom, 2-bath that's sold. I'm going to say, now, did you tell me your house has 2 bathrooms? No, it only has 1. Oh, okay. This one has 2, right? So what I'm trying to do is price condition and justify theirs should be even lower than what I'm showing them already.
Now,
right?
We actually do this twice with sellers. This price conditioning on the seller line, because when we do a set, it's in the set script as well. But then Larry, when he gets on the phone with anybody as well, then he does it as he's getting ready to make the offer. So even though if we do a set to close in one script, then it's still going to be done twice, because you'll do it not subjectively is not the word I'm looking at, but you'll do it intermittently when you're getting the information on the property too. But then also when you say, okay, let me pull it up and make sure I'm looking at the right house, right? Let me do a street view and make sure I'm looking at the right house. Then you can go into Zillow, do those, and then do the same thing again. So it actually can happen twice on the same call with the seller.
Right. That's a really good point. Plus, it keeps your seller honest too, right?
Yeah.
And whenever you re-ask them the question, like Candace will ask, when she's talking to them, or Angel, and then I'll ask the same question again. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I get a different answer. And then if I do get a different answer, I'll say something along the lines of, for some reason, Candace wrote down it was X or such and such, right? You remember talking to her about that? And
it's always that I wrote it down wrong.
Well,
they don't ever say
I can't make them look bad. You can't make your seller look bad.
No.
You can't do that, right? And she understands. She don't get offended.
No.
Right? She has thick skin.
Well, not only I am, but not only that, I mean, anybody in that set situation should understand that they, on a second call, they could be more, especially with the way that we tee you up, being the authority, right?
Right.
They may feel a little bit more pressure to be a little more honest with you, to kind of go back on some of the things that they, told us as junior hammers, which is what we refer to each other lovingly in the side room here, in the bullpen, whatever you want to call it. But there's different reasons. Stop. There's different reasons that they could be doing that to him, intentionally, not intentionally, somewhere in the middle. However, but it is, whenever anybody's in a set situation or a set position, they should understand that it's going to fall back on them and be okay with that.
Right. And also, like I mentioned earlier, I mean, both of us will say this now. I'm not telling you anything you can't pull up online and look at yourself. It's all free information. It's public record, right? It's public record. That's a good term to say. It's public record. Okay. So in price conditioning, you take a look at the comps. And if you're pulling comps and you've got pictures of a house and it's a good looking house, you want to even scroll through and look at the pictures and say, oh, wow, here's one that's sold. And you can even give them the dates. You don't have to give them the year, but give them the dates. But I won't go back 3 or 4 years, but a year or two is okay, right? But I'll go back and say, oh, here's one that's sold in August, right? In August. Wow, okay. And wow, there's some pictures online. Let me take a look. Wow, the kitchen's been updated. The bathroom's been updated. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. Wow, okay. Now, you told me your kitchen needed to be remodeled, right? And you needed paint and carpet. This one's in pretty good shape. So I'll say something like that. And then we look at the comps, and then I'll subtract the amount of repairs, right?
Yeah.
From what I need to pay them, right? So, and those are on the smaller, cheap houses. If I'm looking at a fix and flip, a higher priced house, then what I do is I pull the comps, right? But I'll go through the rehab, everything. I'll talk about how's the kitchen, how's the bathroom, now, even if they say the kitchen's fine, you've got to say this. When was the last time your kitchen was remodeled? And most of them are going to be, well, I've never remodeled. Right? That's what most of them are.
Most of them, if they've remodeled it, most of them, if they have, it's been in the 80s, early 90s even. So it's still 20 years old, 25 years old from the remodel.
Exactly.
If they've done it at all.
Exactly. And, lhen's the last time the roof was replaced? If they say 15 years, oh, wow. Yeah, that's going to have to be done before too long. I'm just it's like I'm thinking out loud. I'm not telling them, I'm just thinking out loud. You can't unring a bell. They hear it. It's not an objection,
right?
Because I didn't tell them, your roof is going to have to be replaced very soon. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, okay, that's going to have to be replaced before too long, right? Does everybody understand that? So I'm going through, and then with the fix and flip, I start looking at, okay, well, if we go in and we do this, and I make a big deal out of it. If we remodel this, if we do new cabinets, new countertops, new sink, Yeah, everything. Plumbing under the sink, all that stuff. A new floor covering in the kitchen, all that. And then let's take a look at the bedrooms. Let's take a look at the bathroom, new landscaping, all that stuff.
Yep.
So I drag it out to make it look like a lot.
To be able to
justify it.
Well, not only to justify it, to be able to sell it, this stuff would have to be done, right? And there's no telling how long it's going to take us to get this stuff done. So we may have to hold it for a few months.
Right. Or longer. But I always tell people, hey, you could do this yourself. If you wanted to go in and spend $25,000 and deal with the contractors and get it in tip-top shape and then list it with a realtor for a year or two, I'm sure you'll find a retail buyer. But if you're looking for a quick cash sale right now, this is where I need to be. But anyway, let me get back on track. So I figure out what the ARV is, and I say, now, when you sell a property for retail, it's in tip-top shape, you're going to put it on the MLS, and between paying the real estate commission and closing costs, you're looking at probably about 10%. So let's take 10% right off the top, okay? And then, I've got all the rehab, so let's take that off. And then I need to make about 20% profit. I mean, that's, with our office and overhead and everything. I mean, you call from one of our postcards, it costs a lot of money to mail out postcards and that sort of thing. 20% is respectable. It's what most builders make. So 20%, based on that, I need to be around X, right?
Yep.
And that's usually less than what I can actually pay, right? It's usually less than what I can actually pay.
Well, you don't ever want to start out with your highest and best, honestly.
Good point.
You can't ever go down. And if they come back and say, yeah, okay, I'll take that. Okay, one, you've offered too much.
Right.
And now you're stuck. What are you going to do? You're going to pay it.
You're going to renegotiate.
Well, you're going to sign the contract with what they say, and then after you do some more investigation, you could go back and renegotiate.
That's exactly right. Now, the way you price condition a rental property that has a tenant in it, and this is a really neat little strategy that I use. I always tell my sellers, hey, look, you can give me all the property details. But you basically told me the tenant's in there, they're happy, they're not complaining about anything. So I tell them your value of your property is based on its income. That's all it is. A landlord will buy a property based on its income. And the property is going to be around, look, Brad's on the line. What's up? Hey, I know y'all.
Yeah, you do.
So that's funny. So the value is based on the income, okay? And basically, little rental houses like this, they sell where the rents are about 2% per month. So I can tell you right off the bat what your property's worth. If it's rented out for $400 a month, it's worth about $20 grand. If it's rented for $500 a month, it's worth about 25 grand. $600 a month, about 30 grand. $800 a month, about 40 grand, right? So, and that's about what they're worth right there. So what I try to do is I try to buy them where rents are 2%, and then I sell them where rents are 1.5%, right? Something like that. Now, if I can sell them where rents are 2%, I try to do that if I can, right?
Right. It's better if you can, but
it's better if I can.
Doesn't always work out that way.
And yeah, sometimes I can get deals. We've gotten package deals where they're much better than that. We got a rental house right now in Shelby. It's just about move-in ready, and we're paying 10 grand for it, right?
Right.
It's just about move-in ready, and it'll probably rent for $350 to $450 a month, right? So, so we could probably put a tenant in there and get 30 grand or so for it. I think we're selling it for 20 or 25 now, as is, with no tenant. But anyway, so those are the different ways that you price condition your seller. Now let's talk about your buyer. Okay, let's talk about your buyer. When you're trying to wholesale a property and price conditioning your buyer, you're going to sell, if it's a rental property, you're going to sell it where rents are about 1% per month, okay? About 1% per month. So now I know some higher price stuff where the house, they want $100,000 and it's rented out for $800 a month, right? That's 0.8%, right? But we tell our buyers around 1%. That's 12% gross, right? And minus taxes, insurance, and repairs and maintenance. But by the time they get their depreciation, they're still making close to double-digit returns or better, right? And one thing you got to remember with sellers especially properties that are owned by landlords, is the landlord will always tell you something like this. It's rented for $400, but I can get a lot more. You can get a lot more. He doesn't say I can get a lot more. He says you can get a lot more, right? My standard answer is, if you can, why aren't you? Well, I just didn't want to bother them because they never bother me. They pay on time. I just want to let them alone. That's probably what I should do, is leave them alone and not raise rents, right? So having said that, I've got to pay you based on the current value of the property, right? So
I ask a similar question a little bit different way with a set on that. It's more along the lines of, now, do you think that rent is fair, or are you giving them a break?
That's a good question. I've never heard you say that.
It's not written in the script. It's kind of
it's a Candaceism.
It's an improv.
It's a Candaceism.
So I ask it that way in a set script, and get them to go ahead and commit one way or the other, whether they feel like it's fair or not, and then I can note that for him as well.
There you go. That's good. That is good. How'd you say that again?
Is that a fair? Do you feel like that's a fair market rent, or are you giving them a break?
Oh, okay.
And 9 times out of 10, they say, "Well, I think I'm giving them a break. You know, they've been there a while, so they'll some of them go into it a little bit. Some of them won't. Some of them will say, no, I think it could get a little bit more."
Good.
But
now on fix and flips, when we're selling fix and flips, the way we justify the price and price condition our buyer is we pull a report with comps. We use CRS data, right?
Is that Manny who says Facebook put him in jail?
It is.
But I escaped.
Jack Iyer's on the line. Jack Iyer, what's up, buddy? How you been? So
I'm glad you got out, Manny. Good job.
Right?
Facebook jail can be rough.
That's funny. Our email must not have went out. We don't have 30 or 40 people like we normally do.
It didn't go out.
Wonder what happened.
I know what happened. I happened.
We were a little busy this morning.
My day happened.
So anyway, the way we justify the price with our buyer, right, is we pull comps and we have a report of the comps showing the sold properties is sold up here, but our property is for sale right here, right? And we put a profit potential on the deal, right? For example, we've got a house in Kannapolis right now. It's a sweet little fixer-upper, right? It needs paint and carpet, right? We're selling it for, I think it's on the MLS. We just put it on the MLS for $129.9 to try to find a hotel person as is. It needs paint and carpet, but we'll sell it to an investor for $115, right? They put paint and carpet in it.
Yeah, you're right.
I thought I messed up there for a minute. Anyway.
I like to freak you out like that occasionally.
You did. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Anyway, so $115. However, a person can go in and put paint and carpet, and you may not even need to put carpet in it, right? Because it did. Oh, I'm missing a cell right here. So,
I know who that is.
You know who that is. So anyway, so you could go in and put paint and carpet, right, and then sell it for anywhere from $150,000 to $175,000. You can make anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 potentially on this deal, right? So it's a nice little easy in and out, right?
Always.
You know who used to say that? Steve Gatewood.
I know.
It was Steve Gatewood. I remember the other day. All right, cool. So I think that's it with the price conditioning
for sellers and buyers.
For sellers and buyers. Yep.
Who was that? Ben Stewart that wanted that topic?
I think it might have been, and he's not even on here today.
Can't remember who it was last week. I think it was him, but I can't remember.
What's up with that?
Anyway, I hope you guys got a lot out of that. If you are wanting to partner with us, if you want to come in, spend 3 days with Larry, the team that's here, mostly Larry, we don't really come in, but go to larrygoins.com/apply, submit your questionnaire, and the guys will give you a call, go through that process with you, answer any questions that you've got. Also, you want to tell, you just did a webinar on it too.
I did just do a webinar. Check your email if you're not on our list, right? If you're not on our list, look, Lynn's on that line. What's up? So we just did a webinar. Actually, today at noon, we did a webinar. So if you're not on our email list, you need to call Z right now at 877-LARRY-GO and tell her to add you to our list. And then that way you'll get all of our emails about all of our training webinars.
Right.
We just did one at noon today.
And that was on, 12 steps to 3 deals in 90 days. So she can get you on the email list, LarryGoins.com/apply to work with us, LarryGoinsLive.com to register for the next 3-day event that we'll be doing here in the Charlotte area in May. Is that it?
Share.
And share.
Jack Iyer, look. Larry, we missed you at the Real Estate and Wealth Expo, February 24th. How did the investors love the training with an all-star? Awesome. That's good. I'm glad your event went really well. I wish I could have been there, but I don't travel anymore and speak except for having fun.
That's
right. So, and I know it would have been fun with you guys, Jack.
That's not what he's saying.
That's not what I'm saying. All right. But thank you guys very much for watching. Please share. We're going to give away another real estate day trading jumpstart next week, $297 value. Share. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.